There's movies, cartoons, lots of fun, songs and games for everyone. A peanut gallery, everything. So come on, boys and girls, let's really sing now. Let's go, kids.
Well, it's howdy doody time once again. Let's hear it for Buffalo Bob Smith.
Oh, boy.
We just set television back about 40 years. You know that, Rusty?
Well, but it's important. It's important to know where it all began, you know? And you did it live.
We sure did.
Must have been hard to do it live.
Well, you worked through a lot of toothaches and headaches and backaches and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Every day.
Did you ever make mistakes and have to live with them?
Well, a couple of things happen on the show that you can't tell. Some that you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some funny times. The one they asked me to tell tonight is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. This was Halloween time, early 50s. Mm-hmm. And because it was Halloween, we had the entire set desk decorated with black cats and witches and lighted pumpkins and whatever. Mm-hmm. And during the middle of the show, we'd always have an old-time movie. And we'd turn the lights down, and I'd do the narration on these old silent films. Well, this particular film was about a guy who was asleep all the time, and I nicknamed him Rip Van Winkle. Mm-hmm. So all the kids in the peanut gallery are behind me, and I'm telling them about old Rip. And while I'm doing this, a kid sneaked out of the gallery, and he tugged on my pant leg. I says, "What's the matter, son?" And he says, "Buffalo Bob, I've got a tinkle." Well, obviously, I can't go tinkling with the kid. You know, I got to tell about the movie. Yeah. So I pointed to one of the cameramen, thinking he'd get himself a tinkle partner. Mm-hmm. But in the same direction that I was pointing was our puppet stage, and on the floor in front of the puppet stage was this tremendous lighted pumpkin. So I guess the little kid thought I was pointing toward the pumpkin because he proceeded to go over and put out the candle.
Oh.
Well, now, I didn't see this. I'm looking at the monitor up here, but the cameramen, they saw it. They were hysterical. The kids in the peanut gallery, they saw it. One kid said, "Buffalo Bob, sissy in the pumpkin!" So I got up and saw this kid, and I was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
And when I laugh, all 180 pounds really shakes, you know. So I literally crawled off the set on my hands and knees, didn't come back till the next night. Dayton Allen, one of our puppeteers up on the puppet bridge, came down and had enough composure to do the closing commercial and tell about the movie, and that was the end of the show. Well, the funny part of the story is all the people who were watching didn't know what happened. Here they're watching a movie about a guy who was asleep all the time. Nothing funny. All of a sudden, everyone was hysterical. Mm-hmm. Movie was over. Buffalo Bob was gone. So the switchboard at NBC lit up like a Christmas tree. Everybody called in, "What was so funny on the Howdy Doody show?" We got thousands of letters, so we had to answer these people. So we said to them, "So many of you asked what happened on the night of Halloween when everyone was hysterical and Buffalo Bob had to leave the scene. It was during an old-time movie about a man named Rip Van Winkle when a 4-year-old boy from the gallery told Bob that he had to tinkle. Well, Buffalo Bob couldn't take him, so he pointed to someone who could, but the little kid didn't follow directions. He just walked to a pumpkin and stood. Now, the rest of the story is obvious, and we didn't need a mop because our little friend had great aim and he never spilled a drop. Now, that's how we get going. Now, you might want to know what happened to this little boy. He now is 44 years old. Mm-hmm. His name is Peter. And Peter lives just outside of West Orange, and he's head of the volunteer fire department out there in West Orange.
You were his inspiration.
Still putting them out.
Yeah.
Still putting them out.
You also did the voice for Howdy Doody?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Well, when we first started the show, we had one camera trained on Howdy all the time. And then I'd give him direct cues. I'd say, what do you think, Howdy? And then when I'd see that Howdy was in the picture alone, he'd say, ho, I think you're right, Buffalo Bob. And then it'd come back to me. Well, the kids would come in and they'd see the show and they'd look back and forth between Howdy and me, and they didn't know who was talking for whom. So we thought it would be better if we taped Howdy's voice. Mm-hmm. So none of us really on the show was a ventriloquist. We moved our lips, so we taped all the puppets' voices so that we could be in the same picture with them. Mm-hmm. I could sing duets with them and whatever.
Yeah. What do kids have now that's somewhat equal to the Howdy Doody? I mean, what would it be, like Pee Wee Herman or... Because it doesn't seem like we have anything now.
Well, Pee Wee is a great show, and Double Dare, I think, is a great show. Friend Mark. Mm-hmm. But really, the networks take the easy way out. They show cartoons, the same thing over and over and over again every Saturday morning. It's the easy way for them. They can pay $200,000 for a cartoon, play it 1,000 times. It costs them buttons, mm-hmm. and they can sit back, push buttons, and their budget is all set to the penny, and it's the easy way out. Give the kids the same old junk over and over and over again.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you represent a period that's kind of, I don't know, a great era of television. And I thank you for everything you gave that entire generation of kids growing up. And I wish there was another Buffalo Bob.
Arsenio, I love you.
Thank you very much. Buffalo Bob, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.